Hello, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, you're very excited to be with us tonight. We're going to be talking about the continuation of the Lifebook workshop. This is our second in the installation. And tonight, we're going to talk about element 2. Literally, knowing what you want to accomplish. And this is really important. Last week, we talked about knowing your why. It's important to know your level of motivation, to know that you want to do this, because change is difficult. I think we've all gone on programs before, we've tried dieting, we've tried different things, New Year's resolutions, and all those things usually end up in failure because what we probably haven't done is done the proper preparation. John Wooden, one of the most famous coaches of all time, said preparation was the key to success, and he was one of the winningest coaches of all time. So what we want to do is first celebrate your wins from last week, and oh, by the way, we've now been able to, whether you share publicly or privately, that will count for you getting your next level, your next badge. So we want to make sure you can do that. So that's certainly up to you which one you want to do. So what I want to do now is really talk about, are you ready for change? You know, hopefully last week when you found your why you're on the call, and thank you, we had just tens of thousands of people now have been joining us for this workshop. So we're pretty excited about that. But this is, I'm talking to you as an individual. And what's so important is to recognize and realize that you have a team behind you, that the Facebook system we're using here is one piece of our human transformational technology. And the more you use the system, the better. So I just want to review that just for a moment. Your Lifebook is what we're talking about tonight. And this is your interactive journal for the next 12 months. The Habits of Health is the reference guide. And we're actually going to refer tonight to a section that if you're interested, some people just tell me what to do, some people really want to know more. So I wanted to make sure in the system that we gave you as little or as much information as you wanted. And then obviously we have in here, we have the Habits of Health basically app, which is for you checking your daily accountability in all the key areas. First starting with eating every 3 hours, drinking your water, and then stop, challenge, and choose, which we'll talk about a little bit tonight, but we'll talk about that later in later elements. So with this, one of the important things is, are you ready? And so if you look at your Lifebook, what I do is I actually talk about that and I ask this question. And we use this thing called a readiness ruler. And why a readiness ruler is really important and the ruler system works, because it allows you as you're starting to talk out loud. So in terms of your readiness, are you ready to go into action to create health? It asks 0 to 10. 10 is I'm very ready to change. And you actually want to start speaking this language, because if you're very ready to change, you're more likely to change than if I'm not very ready to change. In fact, I think it's really important as you start this element and start diving in to this new journey you're going to go on. We've got your back. We're here for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people improve and change their health and their life, and we're here to help you too. And what's nice is the combination of our community, and hopefully you have one of our coaches. Maybe not, you should consider that. The Habits Health Transformational System, which is we're using as the kind of the transformational technology, and the opportunity to now work on and getting healthier using any of the feelings or any of the other things that help you on that journey. But in this right now, if your score is less than 7, then you probably better go back to your why and think more about it, because what you're judging on is probably something. And what I've noticed over time, people that come in that aren't ready, boy, they don't necessarily do well. So we want to make sure you're ready, and getting ready is just a matter of knowing you're ready. So in the book, Dr. A's Habits of Health, we have in part, and they're over in the side here, part 1-1.3, we have, this is from Prachka's work, but it talks about the different levels of motivation. And the motivation means simply you have the desire and the behavior to go out and do something that you want. So in this, we talk about the stages. The stage 1 is you're just not ready. We call it pre-contemplate. You're not even thinking about it. You're not going to do it. It's like you're going, the Ravens are playing a big game tonight, and you're at, this year you're not, but you might have been at the tailgate, drinking a keg of beer with the buddies, eating chicken wings and, all kinds of barbecue stuff. And right then, if I asked you, are you ready to get healthy? You probably would say no. In fact, you're not even thinking about it. The next stage is contemplation. We're starting to think about it. It's kind of what we were talking about. Our doctor may have talked to us about our health, or we just feel like it's time to make a change. And that's contemplation. So we're thinking about it. And then getting ready to go, which is really cool, is this is preparing to change your behavior. And that decision, so we talked about that last week, your decision to make a change in your health. So with that, what's really cool is you can go through and read this in the first couple of pages there. It'll give you a better idea, because we want to make sure you're ready for change. And you have to ask yourself that question, because nobody outside of you, the locus of control, you can certainly get help from us, from the system and all the things we do within our community. But if you're going to be successful, you have to be the primary person deciding you want to change your behavior. You don't have to know you can do it. Don't have to think you can do it, but you have to at least make that decision and then start going through the motions and going through the actions that support that so we can move you forward. So one of the cool things we do is we actually look at health very differently. We mentioned this last week. Some people try to use exercise to lose weight and get healthier. Some people try to diet to lose weight and get healthier. Some people try all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes I always like to kid around. There was the thing you would put on your belly. You push a button and it would squeeze your muscles, and they sold that on TV. Well, you really should do is put that here and say, I was so stupid for thinking that was going to help me get healthy. Because it's got to come from within. And so we want to make sure we're transparent and authentic. We're going to break it down into little baby steps, these little bitty things that everybody can do. In fact, a micro habit actually says it's so easy to do and so simple. You can do it on the days even when you're not motivated. So we're going to use all this technology to help you. But right now, talking about the 6 big macro habits, the thing we talked about last week, the old mason jar. We're talking now about your mason jar, your opportunity to take control, take command, take back the power, and using within the habit self-transformational system, start learning to get healthier. It's not going to happen by something outside. It's going to happen by you making that decision. But with that much said, everything can change in the 6 key areas. So we've broken your health down into 6 key parts. One is, indeed, weight management. It's learning to reach a healthy weight and able to optimize your weight and maintain that over a long period of time so it's sustainable, and it'll get easier and easier. And we have some great tools to kind of get you into inertia. Because if you've gained 50 pounds over the last 10 years, to change that, it's like moving an 800-foot freighter. You're not just going to turn around on a dime. So we've got to start that in baby steps, and we're going to be teaching you over this course how to start doing that in more details. And for those of you that are already on your weight loss part of your journey, which is 70% of our population, congratulations. You're going to start gaining more and more confidence in your ability to change. Let's talk for a moment, though, about the other 6 macro habits. The second one is healthy eating and basically hydration. That's really important. The third is obviously healthy motion. Fourth is healthy sleep and energy management. The fifth is healthy mind. And the sixth is healthy surroundings. And all those things can be changed. And what we're going to do is, if you look at this, you will go through each one of those, decide which ones you're working on, and most of you will be working on the weight management one. But what other ones do you want to work on? So maybe you're not sleeping well. And maybe you don't even realize it, but sleep is a key part why we gain weight. And by helping you sleep better will help effectively accelerate your ability to lose weight. So we're going to ask you about those, and then we're going to take you through, again, looking at 3 pieces. We first want to look about how important it is to you. So that's basically your willingness, right? Your willingness to make a change. That's how important it is to you right now. Second is your confidence ruler. Do you have the ability? Do you think you have the ability? Because if you don't think you have the ability, then we need to sit down and talk to you. And there's sections in here you're going to read where it'll show you how we're going to make it. Even if you don't think, and maybe you failed 10 times before, we're going to basically roll up our sleeves and help you start to learn how to take care of your health in your life. And then the second is your confidence, as I mentioned, your confidence, the ability. The third is your readiness. So if we look at how important it is for you right now to reach a healthy weight or to start sleeping great, and so many people are struggling with sleep, especially on these uncertain times. But once we know that you are willing to do it and you are confident or now know that it can be done because of the system and the support you're going to get, now are you ready to go? And that's the decision. And once we make that decision, and some of you may be ready, you might be ready to start walking, going for walks, but you might not be ready to give up watching late night TV. So you have to figure out what you're ready to do, and hopefully as you start getting healthier, you'll be more excited about doing more. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And then the last part I just want to talk on as we go through these sections is really there's questions in your life book, and they're designed to actually contrast what is the 3 things that I could give up and what are the 3 things I could start doing that would have the most difference. And the beauty of that is when you stop something and start something that helps you move now on your health trajectory, and stop something that hurts you, it's like a double power to that. It's like the magic of now doing 2 things, and what you'll see is you'll start seeing improvement. And as soon as you start seeing improvement, your self-efficacy will get better, you'll get better, and you'll start feeling better. And as you get that confidence, you get into kind of a momentum. And what's really cool, the way our brain works, when you come off of automatic, sleepwalking like we talked about last week, and you now become self-aware, what ends up happening is you start changing one habit, it has the halo effect, and it'll actually help you start changing the others. So it's so very important. And so, as we kind of go through element 2, I just want to make sure 2 things. You go back and you look at your why. You want to check to see how ready you are on a scale to 1 to 10. If your score is 7 or lower than 7, you want to sit down, read through the first section again, go back to the first element, start to understand why you want to change. And I will tell you the other thing. It is not convenient. There is no convenient time to change our behavior. That's why we say, oh, I'll do it when I go on vacation, or I'll do it later. And that's what we do. We plan our vacations better than we do our lives. But once you start to understand, it's not ever a good time to do it. But if you're overweight or not healthy or not sleeping well or not moving enough, or you have some other stuff going on, there's never a better time to start doing something to improve your health and your well-being than right now. I can tell you, as a physician, taking care of so many people for so many years, the inconvenience, if you're willing to do the work now and actually take an active role in creating health and well-being, you can prevent yourself potentially, we can never make guarantees, excuse me, but you can actually put yourself in position where it's less likely that you'll start getting progressively poorer health, go from that non-sick to the sick, because it is inconvenient taking medicines every day. It is inconvenient going to multiple specialists during the month to take care of your medical ills. And it's inconvenient when you can't move as much and sleep well, and you can't get out and exercise or be with your family. All those things long-term can have a very inconvenient effect on your life. So yes, it might not be a convenient time, but it is the time, because now during this unsettled time period we're in now, so many people need direction. And just by deciding that you're going to get healthier and move forward and use the tools, work with your coach and with the system, use the community, you have the opportunity to now move forward in baby steps. And so at the beginning of each one of these elements, I actually tell how long. We don't tell you how long you have to take to do it, but on average, it says on each one of them, as you get more familiar, this one should take about a week. So over the next week, basically it's only about 10 pages, and it's repeating for each macro habit the same 3 things with the rulers. Take the time, go through it, really decide, what am I really, right now, what is important to me? What do I have willingness to make a change in my life? Because you've got to take ownership of it. 2, what is in terms of my confidence or my ability? Where am I right now in terms of what I think I can do? And make sure you read the combined sections, because in the next element, we're going to start talking about how using the system, the micro habits and the system I've created using structural dynamics and the other key pieces of human transformational technology, we're going to start teaching you how you can change your health, change your habits, change how you think, and now move you forward in a great direction. So hopefully this has been helpful. I'm so excited being here. We have so many people that are joining us. Make sure you go back to your coach or to your mentor and say, you know what, I am ready. I just did my willingness, my confidence, and my readiness, and I'm really focused on reach a healthy weight, as well as I want to focus on a couple of the others. And then you can move around and start to use the system. So just to kind of get you familiar, since we're only in element 2, you'll use the app every day to really record, because you have to have accountability. You'll use the Lifebook, hopefully write on it and start writing it every day, and maybe keep it on your bedside. And then you'll have this at your desk, on your shelf by your desk, as your reference when you want to learn more about one particular part. So make sure your coach is there, your mentors are there to help you. Let's put you in position. Let's start changing our stars together. So have a great evening, guys. Good night.